The cradle's half finished when my hands start shaking. Tiger maple, same wood my grandfather used. Been sanding with the grain for an hour, but I can't get the runner smooth. Keep thinking about what she said, what they all heard. Those kids aren't his. I married him for the farm. He's too old and foolish to see what's right in front of him. Said it loud enough, the whole church fellowship hall went quiet. Mashed potatoes still on my serving spoon when the words hit. 60 people watching me stand there like a damn fool. That was 3 weeks ago. My wife called me a fool. Said the two kids aren't mine. So on her big day, I exposed everything. But before I tell you how I made her pay, you need to understand how a man like me, 40 years of honest work, never hurt a soul, ended up the town fool standing in that church basement with 200 witnesses watching my whole life fall apart. Sunday morning comes cold. February in Iowa means frost on the windows, thick enough you gotta scrape it from the inside. I'm up at 5 like always, percolator burbling on the stove, that bitter smell the only company I got at this hour. Used to be Betty would shuffle in about now, slippers soft on the linoleum, flour already on her hands from biscuits she'd started. 4 years she's been gone, and I still set out 2 cups. Habit's a hard thing to break. Claire's still asleep upstairs. Don't hear her moving around like Betty used to. I dress for church. Button-down shirt. Betty ironed 20 years back. Still holds a crease. Collar's tight. When'd my neck get so thick? Or maybe I'm just shrinking everywhere else. 68 years old, and some mornings I feel every damn one. Harold, we're gonna be late! Claire's voice from upstairs, sharp like always. Coming, I call back. She's at the mirror when I get up there, putting on that perfume. Expensive stuff, floral and heavy. Betty wore lavender. Simple. This smell fills the whole room, pushes out the air. You look nice, I tell her, because that's what husbands say. She glances at me in the mirror. The potluck's at 11. Don't embarrass me by being late. Don't embarrass her. Right. We drive separate. She's got errands after, she says. I follow her taillights through town, past Rosie's diner where the breakfast crowd's already gathering, past the feed store where Earl's truck is parked. He waves from the window, I wave back. The church sits white against gray sky, steeple pointing up like it's trying to punch through the clouds. 6 bells toll as I park. Sound carries across frozen fields, echoes back from somewhere far off. Inside, the fellowship hall's already warm. Coffee brewing in that big urn smells like burned grounds and too much chicory. Long tables covered in red checkered cloth, folks bringing in covered dishes, green bean casserole, ham, dinner rolls that steam when Margaret pulls back the foil. Oh, Harold! Pastor Mitchell grabs my hand, pumps it twice. Good to see you. Claire mentioned you two have an announcement later. Announcement? Oh, He looks past me. I'll let her tell you. Claire's across the room, laughing with the younger women. She sees me looking, gives a little wave. I wave back. Tommy and Katie run up, the kids, 8 and 6, full of energy like kids are. Grandpa Harold! Tommy grabs my hand. Can we sit with you? Sure, bud. After the service. Katie tugs my other hand. Mommy says we're celebrating something. That right? But they're already gone, chasing each other between the chairs. The service runs long. Pastor talks about honesty, about walking in truth. I try to listen, but my mind wanders. Notice Claire keeps checking her phone. Notice she's wearing new earrings. Notice things I probably should have noticed before. After, the potluck line forms. I end up at the mashed potatoes, big bowl of them, getting cold already. Serving spoons heavy in my hand. That's when Claire's voice cuts through the room. Can I have everyone's attention? Room goes quiet. Conversations die mid-word. Silverware stops clinking. She's standing by the dessert table, one hand on her hip, smiling, but it ain't a kind smile. I have an announcement to make, she says, about my husband Harold and our family situation. My hand tightens on the spoon, something in her voice. Harold's a good man, she continues. Everyone's looking at her now. Simple, trusting, maybe too trusting. My chest gets tight. See, I need to come clean about something. She looks right at me. Those two kids, Tommy and Katie, they're not his. The spoon feels like it weighs 50 pounds. I married him for the farm. She says it casual, like commenting on weather. He's too old and foolish to see what's right in front of him. The mashed potatoes slide off the spoon, hit the floor with a wet sound. White splatter on the geometric tile, expanding slow. 60 faces turn toward me. Pastor Mitchell's mouth hanging open, Rosie's hand covering hers, Earl standing by the coffee urn, frozen. The whispers start, low at first, then louder. Did she just? Poor Harold. Can you believe? Claire's still talking, but I can't hear her anymore. There's a ringing in my ears, high and thin. My hands start to shake. I set the spoon down, real careful, like if I'm gentle enough I can undo what just happened. I walk out. Don't run, don't look at anybody. Just walk, one foot, then the other. Screen door slams behind me. That spring tension I adjusted 30 years ago, still working perfect. Cold air hits my face. I make it to my truck, get the door open. Earl's voice behind me. Harry. I turn. He's standing there in his good church coat, hands in his pockets. Harry, that woman ain't right, he says quiet. Grace warned me about this. About what, Earl? About someone taking advantage. He looks at the church, at the fellowship hall windows where shapes move behind glass. And I think it's already started. I get in my truck. Engine turns over, heater starts blasting. But I don't move. Just sit there, hands on the wheel, watching my breath fog the windshield. Claire's car's still in the lot. She's staying. Probably in there right now, explaining to everyone, making me smaller with every word. My hands won't stop shaking. The house feels different when I get home. Emptier than the 4 years after Betty died. That was a clean empty. Grief, sure, but honest. This empty's got poison in it. I sit at the kitchen table. Same table Betty and I bought at an estate sale in '82. Oak, solid, scarred from 40 years of use. 2 coffee cups in front of me. One's mine. The other's just habit. Can't sleep. 4 in the morning. The percolator's my only friend. That burble and hiss, then the smell, bitter, strong, cutting through the cold. There's mail I haven't opened. Stack of it by the fruit bowl Betty's mama gave us. White envelopes, official looking. I start going through them. Bank statements. I don't remember getting these in the mail before. Claire always said she'd handle the finances. You've got enough to worry about with the farm, she'd said. I open the first one. Takes me a minute to understand what I'm looking at. Account transfers. New accounts I don't recognize. Money moving around like water finding cracks. My hands start shaking again. There's a withdrawal here. $15,000. Another. $22,000. All within the last 6 months. All from accounts I've had since 1975. I look at the signatures at the bottom of the authorization forms. They look like mine. Almost. But the capital H is wrong. Too straight. I always curl mine. Habit from 40 years of signing work orders at the machine shop. The front door opens. I don't move. Claire comes in, heels clicking on the hardwood. Sharp sound, nothing like Betty's soft shuffle. She sees me at the table, sees the bank statements. Harold. Her voice is different now, not the sweet one she uses in public. You weren't supposed to see those yet. Yet? She sets her purse down. We need to talk about your situation. My situation? You're getting forgetful, honey. She sits across from me, in Betty's chair. The doctor said it might get worse. That's why I've been helping with the finances, protecting you. What doctor? Dr. Chen. Last month. You don't remember? I do remember. Went in for a checkup, signed some forms, medical release stuff, Claire said. Those were financial documents, I say. Weren't they? She smiles. Small, patient, like talking to a child. See? This is what I'm talking about. You can't keep track anymore. I stand up. Need to move. Need air. Walk to the window. Outside, the sun's starting to come up, pale light on frozen fields. Where's the jewelry? My voice sounds far away. Betty's jewelry, the box in the safe. Silence. I turn around. Claire's face is different now, harder. I needed some cash, she says, for household expenses. You pawned my dead wife's jewelry? Our expenses, Harold. We're married. What's yours is mine. The table's between us. Good thing, too. Get out, I say. Excuse me? Get out of my house. She laughs. Actually laughs. Your house? Harold, check the deed. I had you update it 6 months ago. For estate planning, remember? Both our names are on it now. I don't remember that. She stands, smooths her skirt. I'll be staying with Marcus for a few days. My lawyer friend. You remember him. He helped us with all that paperwork. Marcus. The cologne I smelled in my study last week. Chemical, aggressive. While I'm gone, she continues, you should think about Thursday. Thursday? We have an appointment. 2 o'clock in County Recorder's office. She picks up her purse. Just some routine estate planning updates. You'll sign a few things, make sure I'm taken care of if something happens to you. If something happens? Well, she looks at me, and I see it, really see it. You're 68, Harold. How much time do you really have left? The door slams, her car starts. Taillights disappear down the gravel drive. I'm still standing at the window when Earl knocks at dawn. He's got coffee from Rosie's, 2 cups. We sit on the porch even though it's freezing. Earl rocks in the chair Betty used to use, that creak, rhythmic as a heartbeat. Grace told me to watch out for you, he says after a while. Before she died, said you're too trusting, said someone would take advantage. She was right. Earl pulls out his phone, thumbs through photos, hands it to me. Claire and a man, hotel parking lot, 2 in the morning, kissing, another photo, same hotel, different night, another, and another. My grandson Tyler, Earl says. He's good with computers, helped me track her car, cloud backup on her phone. She doesn't know we can see it. There's more photos, months of them. Earl, my voice cracks. How long you been watching? Since June, when Grace died. He takes the phone back. I'm sorry, Harry. Should have told you sooner. But I needed to be sure. Needed evidence. I look at him. 72 years old, Korean War vet, widower like me, kept a promise to his dead wife. Watched over me when I didn't even know I needed watching. Tyler can get more, Earl says. Bank records, messages, whatever you need. For what? For fighting back. He stands, puts a hand on my shoulder. Question is, you ready to fight? I look at the farm. 200 acres. 4 generations of Brenners. My grandfather cleared these fields with a mule and a will made of iron. Yeah, I say. I'm ready. Tuesday morning I wake up with a plan. Or maybe it's just desperation dressed up as hope. I shave careful. Betty always said a clean shave meant you respected yourself and whoever you were talking to. The razor scrapes against my jaw, that sound loud in the empty bathroom. Aftershave stings. Same bottle Betty bought me 6 Christmases ago, nearly empty now. Earl thinks I'm crazy, told me so last night. You gonna talk to her? Harry, that woman's poison. I gotta try, I said. What if she's scared? What if she needs help? He just shook his head. But that's the thing about being married 40 years to someone like Betty. You learn that love means giving chances, even when you probably shouldn't. Claire comes home around 10. I hear her car on the gravel, that expensive purr her new BMW makes. I'm at the kitchen table, coffee between us like a peace offering. She stops when she sees me. Harold, sit, please. She does, but keeps her purse in her lap, escape route planned. I love you, I start. The words feel true and false at the same time. Or I love who I thought you were. Maybe that's the same thing. Her face does something. Softens, maybe. Hard to tell. Whatever's wrong, I continue, we can fix it. Together. Counseling, a fresh start, whatever you need. She's quiet for a long time. Outside, a crow calls, one of them lonesome sounds that makes winter feel longer. Harold. Her voice is different. Smaller. I don't know what came over me. At the church, I mean. It's okay. No, it's not. She reaches across the table, doesn't quite touch my hand, but close. I was cruel. I said things I didn't mean. My heart does this stupid lift. Hope's a dangerous thing. I know I can't replace Betty, she says, and her eyes get wet. I've been trying so hard and I felt like I was failing. Like you'd never see me, only her ghost. Claire, maybe I was hasty. She does touch my hand now, warm fingers on my scarred knuckles. Can we start over? Really try this time? I want to believe it. God, I want to believe it so bad. We sit there, hands almost touching on Betty's old tablecloth. The one with the faded flower pattern, worn thin at the edges. Yeah, I say. Yeah, we can try. She smiles, squeezes my hand once, then lets go. I need to run some errands, she says, standing. But tonight, let's have dinner, really talk. After she leaves, I sit there feeling like maybe, just maybe, things can be okay. That feeling lasts about 4 hours. A car I don't recognize pulls up. New rental plates. Woman gets out, and it takes me a second to place her. Sarah, my daughter. Haven't seen her in 8 years. Not since I married Claire 2 years after Betty died. Sarah said I was replacing Mom too fast. Said she couldn't watch it, so she didn't. She looks older, 42 now, lines around her eyes. She's got Betty's walk, though, that determined stride. Dad? Sarah. I stand on the porch, not sure if I should hug her or not. She makes the choice, hugs me quick and hard. Smells like her mother's shampoo. Some things run in families. I heard, she says, about the church. Mrs. Henderson called me. You didn't need to come. Yeah, I did. She pulls back, looks at me. Can we talk inside? Over coffee, seems like all important conversations happen over coffee. She tells me why she's here. I was angry, she says. When you married Claire, it felt like betrayal, like you couldn't wait to erase Mom. I never, I know that now. She looks down at her cup. I wasted 8 years being stubborn, and now some woman is trying to steal everything Mom built with you. Sarah, I went to Miller's pawn shop this morning, next county over. She pulls out her phone, shows me photos. Mom's pearls. Grandma's cameo, her wedding set, the pictures blur. Those were supposed to go to Sarah. We're supposed to stay in the family. All pawned 3 months ago, Sarah continues. Name on the receipt, Claire Brenner. I can't speak, can't breathe right. Dad, Sarah's voice cracks. I'm so sorry I stayed away. I should have been here. Should have protected you. That night, I'm in my study, the one room Claire hasn't redecorated, when I hear voices. Claire's home. She's on the phone. Door cracked open upstairs. I move quiet. 40 years working with machinery taught me how to move without sound. The old fool bought it, she's saying, laughing. Keep the Thursday appointment. He'll sign. Pause. His daughter's here, but she'll leave. They all leave him eventually. He's too pathetic to keep anyone around. Another pause. Then, I almost felt bad for a second. He looked so desperate. But then I remembered the payday. I stand outside the bedroom door, hand on the knob. Don't turn it, not yet. My other hand's shaking again. Every word of the reconciliation was performance. Every touch was calculation. Every soft look was a mask. I back away quiet, find Sarah in the kitchen. What's wrong? She sees my face. I tell her what I heard. She doesn't say anything, just takes my hand, holds it like she used to when she was little and scared of thunder. Dad, she finally says, we fight this, together. Outside, winter wind rattles the windows. Inside, something in me goes cold and hard as February ground. Yeah, I say, together. Wednesday morning breaks cold and clear. Claire's gone again, left before dawn, didn't say where. Sarah's already at the kitchen table with Earl and his grandson Tyler when I come down. Coffee's made, and there's papers spread everywhere. Evidence. Tyler's 19, skinny kid with Betty's sharp eyes. He's got Claire's laptop open, fingers flying across keys. Crack the password, he says without looking up. She used Freedom 2024, not exactly creative. That legal? I ask. Dad. Sarah looks at me. We're past legal. We're at survival. Tyler pulls up emails, starts reading dates. 2 years ago, First contact between Claire and someone named Marcus Webb. Her lawyer friend, I say. Yeah, listen to this. Tyler reads. Found a target. Fourth generation farm, 200 acres, no mortgage. Kids are grown and gone. The coffee tastes like ash. Marcus replies, Tyler continues. How long to hook him? Claire says, 3 months max. Old men are easy. Just listen to their stories and pretend to care. Sarah makes a sound. Half sob, half rage. More emails. A whole plan laid out like a blueprint. Claire would get the home health aide job through the church network. Find lonely widowers. Target me specifically because Cal Turner mentioned I had a farm worth something. Here's where it gets worse, Tyler says. Message from 18 months ago. Claire to Marcus. Need a sympathy angle. Kids would help. Kids? Earl leans forward. Tyler reads. My sister Rachel's struggling. 2 kids, can barely feed them. What if I borrow them for a while? Makes me look maternal. Old fool will bond, won't question anything. The room tilts. Marcus says, perfect. After the farm sells, kids go back to Rachel. She gets 20,000. We split 800,000. I stand up. Need to move. Need air. But there's nowhere to go that makes this better. Tommy and Katie, I say. They're not even hers? No, Dad. Sarah's crying now. They're props. Rented children. There's a knock. I open it to find Jim Hutchins standing there, still in his bank manager's suit, but he looks rough, hasn't slept. Harry. He comes in without invitation. We need to talk. He spreads bank records on the table, points to signatures with a shaking finger. These aren't yours, he says. I've had your signature card since 1985. I know your handwriting better than my own kids. He shows me the differences. The H is wrong. The loop in the B of Brenner is too tight. Small things. But Jim's right. They're not mine. I trace the notarizations, Jim continues. 6 different doctor's offices over the past year. You remember signing anything at doctor's offices? I think back. Claire taking me to specialists. Checkups, she called them. Said I was getting forgetful, needed to be monitored. Each time, Jim says, there was a notary present. Marcus Webb's notaries. You signed what you thought were medical release forms. Power of attorney, Sarah says. Asset transfers, trust formations. All disguised as healthcare documents. Jim pulls off his glasses, wipes them, nervous tell, same as high school. Harold, they've been systematically stealing from you for a year. Tyler finds more emails. The full scope comes clear. There's a development company lined up to buy the farm. 1.6 million. Claire and Marcus split 800,000 each. Rachel gets her 20,000 for the kids. The sale's scheduled for Friday, day after I sign the deed transfer tomorrow. They planned the church humiliation too, Tyler says. Listen, public incident will isolate him. Community sees him as senile, unreliable. When we file incompetence papers, everyone will believe us. Earl slams his hand on the table. Those sons of... There's more. Tyler's face goes pale. They have a backup plan. If Harold refuses to sign tomorrow, they file for guardianship. Claim he's mentally unfit. Use the public breakdown at church as evidence. They've got a doctor lined up to testify, Tyler continues. Dr. Chen says Harold showed signs of dementia during checkups. I was fine, I say. Answered every question right. Doesn't matter. Jim shakes his head. Documentation says otherwise. Marcus had it ready before you ever walked in that office. The trap's complete. Sign tomorrow. Lose everything. Refuse to sign. Get declared incompetent. Lose everything anyway. We go to the sheriff, Sarah says. With what? Jim looks miserable. Forged signatures are hard to prove without the originals, which are already filed. The incompetence claim is coming either way. And the development company's legitimate. They don't know it's fraud. So they win? I ask. Claire and Marcus just win? Nobody answers. Tyler's still scrolling. Stops. Wait, there's one more thing. He turns the laptop so we can see. Email from yesterday. Claire to Marcus. Saturday night. Church basement. Renewal celebration. Invited the whole town. Renewal celebration? Sarah reads over my shoulder. Marcus replies, risky. Why broadcast? Claire. Because I want to watch him smile and play along in front of everyone. I want him to feel what it's like to perform while dying inside. He humiliated me once. I'm returning the favor, then taking everything. The cruelty isn't just about money. It's about grinding me into dust, publicly. That woman's evil, Earl says. Yeah. I look at the email, at Claire's words glowing on the screen. But evil's predictable, and predictable can be beaten. How? Sarah asks. I think about the celebration. Saturday night. Church basement. 200 witnesses. Same place she humiliated me. Same people who watched me fall. She wants a show? I say. We'll give her one. Wednesday night I sit in my truck in the barn, engine running, heater blasting, but I can't get warm. Radio's playing old country, Hank Williams. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Fitting. I drafted a letter to Sarah earlier. Didn't send it, just wrote it out longhand, the way Betty taught me letters should be done. Dear Sarah, maybe I should just sign. Let her have it. I'm too old to farm much longer anyway. You'll inherit what's left. At least the fight stops. I'm tired, honey. Tired of being the fool. Tired of fighting. Crumpled it up. Started another. What if they're right? What if I am forgetting things? Can't remember signing those papers. Can't remember half of what the doctor said. Maybe I do need help. Maybe this is what help looks like when you're too proud to ask. Threw that one away too. The thing is, I keep coming back to the same question. Is dignity worth fighting for when you've already lost? Betty used to say, pride's a poor substitute for sense, Harold. Maybe letting go is the sensible thing, the dignified thing even. I'm 68, can't climb the stairs without wheezing, can't remember where I put my damn keys half the time. What kind of man can't protect his own home? Tomorrow's Thursday, 2 o'clock appointment. Sign my life away or get declared incompetent trying to fight it. Either way, I lose. The barn door opens. Earl climbs into the passenger seat, brings the cold with him. We sit there, not talking. His breath fogs the window, same as mine. Grace's last words, he finally says, before the cancer took her. She grabbed my hand and said, Earl, the world needs men like Harold, honest to a fault. I don't say anything. I told her, Harold ain't got no faults, sweetheart. He's solid. Earl looks at me. She said, that ain't a fault, you old fool. That's what the rest of us are supposed to protect. Earl, I haven't done right by her memory, watched you suffer, watched that woman circle you like a hawk on a rabbit. No more. What am I supposed to do? My voice cracks. The law's on their side. The system's on their side. Time's on their side. Then we don't use their system. Earl pulls out a small device. Looks like an old tape recorder. Surveillance equipment from my army days. Still works. What am I going to do with that? Wear it tomorrow. To the appointment. Get them talking. Get them confident. He sets it on the dashboard between us. She wants you to sign. Make her say why. Make Marcus say what they're really doing. Get it on tape. Then what? Then Saturday. Her celebration. We play it for everyone. I pick up the recorder. Heavy. Solid. Real. She'll claim I'm harassing her, I say. Unstable. Paranoid. Maybe. Earl nods. But at least you'll have fought. At least you'll have stood. I think about that. About standing. About being knocked down in front of 60 people and standing back up in front of 200. What if I can't? The words come out small. What if I'm too old, too broken, too... Harry. Earl's voice is firm. You raised Sarah alone after Betty died. Kept this farm running through 3 droughts and a recession. Built every stick of furniture in your house with your own hands. He points at the barn around us. Your grandfather built this in 1890. Your father kept it standing through the Depression. You maintained it for 40 years. So? So you're a Brenner. Brenners don't fold. They bend sometimes. Break maybe, but they don't fold. Inside the house, I see lights come on. Sarah's still up, probably going through more evidence with Tyler. I'm scared, Earl. Good. Means you're sane. He opens the truck door. But scared don't mean stopped. Means careful. He leaves me the recorder. I sit there until the gas gauge gets low. Finally, go inside around midnight. Sarah's at the kitchen table, yellow legal pad covered in notes. She looks up when I come in. Can't sleep either? She asks. I pour coffee even though it's midnight. Habit. I keep thinking, I say, about what your mother would say about all this. Sarah's quiet for a moment. She'd say you're being an idiot. I almost smile. She'd say that woman took advantage of your grief, that you were lonely and human and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Sarah stands, comes over. She'd say, fight, Dad. Fight for the farm. Fight for your dignity. Fight so the next lonely old man knows it's possible. What if I lose? You already lost if you don't try. She puts her hand on my shoulder. Tomorrow, you wear that wire. You get them on tape. Saturday, we expose them. And whatever happens after, we handle it together. Through the window, I can see Earl's porch light across the field. Steady, constant. Okay, I say. Okay. But lying in bed an hour later, staring at the ceiling, I'm not sure I believe it. The recorder sits on the nightstand, small, black, waiting. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, I walk into that appointment. Either I'm gathering evidence or I'm signing my life away, maybe both. Sleep doesn't come, just the ceiling, the dark, and the weight of 68 years pressing down. Thursday morning, 1 o'clock. Earl's in my bedroom helping me with the wire, tapes cold against my chest, microphone clips to my collar, small as a button. Recorder goes in my jacket pocket, red light blinking once before Earl covers it. You look nervous, Earl says. I am nervous. Good. They'll expect that. He steps back, checks his work. Just get them talking. The more confident they get, the more they'll say. Sarah's at the door. Dad, if this goes wrong, I know. They could claim you're unstable, following them, harassing them. I know, honey. Claire's voice floats up from downstairs. Harold, we need to leave. Don't want to be late. Cheerful, certain, already counting her money. Earl grips my shoulder. For Betty, for Grace, for every fool who loved honestly. No? I look at him. For me, because I'm still standing. The drive to the county recorder's office takes 15 minutes. Claire talks the whole way about nothing. The weather, her hair appointment. Plans for our future. I keep one hand on the recorder in my pocket, make sure it's running. Marcus is waiting in the parking lot. Expensive suit, cologne, I can smell from 10 feet away. Chemical, aggressive. Harold! He shakes my hand too hard. Good to see you. We go inside. Waiting room's normal enough, other people filing deeds, clerks moving papers around. Marcus leads us to a private consultation room. Papers spread on the table, farm deed, trust documents, lines highlighted where I'm supposed to sign. Just routine estate planning, Marcus says. Make sure Claire's protected if something happens to you. I look at the papers. Remind me why we're doing this now? Claire touches my shoulder. We talked about this, honey, planning ahead. And this trust, I point to a clause, who controls it? You and Claire jointly, Marcus says, lie. The documents show Claire has sole control. What about this section here? I tap another paragraph. What's this do exactly? Marcus's jaw tightens. Standard language. Just sign, Harold. I'm old, not stupid. What does it actually do? Look, old man. Marcus leans forward. This is happening. Sign or don't, but Claire gets the farm either way. Claire shoots him a look. Marcus! Either way, I ask. How's that work? We have power of attorney. If you're deemed incompetent, he catches himself. If I'm unwell, honey, Claire's voice is sugar. We can act on your behalf. I never signed power of attorney. Sure you did, 6 months ago. Dr. Chen's office. Marcus smiles. That was a medical form. Was it? He laughs. Old memory playing tricks again? I push the papers away. Claire, level with me. Is this about the farm, the money? Harold, don't be dramatic. Because at the church you said you only married me for the farm. Her face hardens. I was upset. Hormones. And the kids? Tommy and Katie? She freezes, just for a second. What about them? Are they really yours? Long pause. Marcus is staring at her, warning in his eyes. Of course they are. Why would you ask that? Marcus cuts in. Harold, you're wasting everyone's time. You're confused, clearly declining. That's why we're here, to protect you from yourself. Protect me, or protect yourselves to my assets? Same thing? Marcus stands. You can't manage alone. Look at you, can't even remember signing documents. Claire adds, everyone saw you at the church, confused, lost. You need help, Harold. This is help, Marcus says. Sign. We handle everything. You live comfortably until, well, the unspoken hangs there. Until I die. What happens after I sign? I ask. We've been over this. No. What really happens? Farm sells to who? Marcus smirks. Development company. Good price. How good? Let's say, comfortable retirement for Claire. And me? Claire's voice goes cold. Harold, you're 68, huh? How much retirement do you need? Marcus laughs. She's got a point. At your age, what, 5 years? 10 if you're lucky? I stand. So you marry me, forge my signature, steal my assets, sell my family's land, and I get what? Claire drops the act completely. You get to not die alone in an empty house. That's what you wanted, right? Company? I gave you that. Cost you a farm. Fair trade. Marcus stands too. Now sign the damn papers, old man, or we file incompetence, you end up in a home, and we get it anyway. No. What? I said no. I'm not signing. Marcus moves toward me. You don't have a choice. I'm 68, not dead. And I remember everything. Claire's face twists with rage. You stupid old fool. You think anyone will believe you? I already made you look senile at church. One call to Adult Protective Services, and you're in a locked ward before dinner, Marcus finishes. You already went down, Claire hisses. At the church. In front of everyone. You're already the town fool. I walk to the door. Marcus blocks me. Where do you think you're going? Home. My home. While I still have it. Claire's voice follows me. Saturday, come to the celebration. Watch everyone congratulate us. Watch me accept their blessings for our renewed love. Her laugh is cruel. Marcus adds, and Monday we file incompetence. Enjoy your last free weekend, Harold. I leave, get to my truck. Hands shaking so bad I can barely get the key in the ignition. Drive 2 blocks, pull over, pull out the recorder. Red light still on, got every word. I play it back. Claire's voice through the tiny speaker. Cost you a farm. Fair trade. Marcus. At your age, what, 5 years? 10 if you're lucky? Every confession, every threat, every word of their cruelty. I call Earl. I got it. Everything. Friday morning breaks with the kind of cold that makes your bones ache. I'm up before dawn, coffee brewing, watching the sky turn from black to gray through frost-covered windows. One day until the celebration, one day until Claire's victory party becomes something else entirely. Sarah's already in the kitchen when I come down, laptop open, yellow legal pad covered in notes. She's been up all night by the look of her. Same rumpled clothes from yesterday, hair pulled back messy. Can't sleep either? I ask. Tyler's compiling everything into a presentation. She rubs her eyes. Photos, bank records, text messages, the audio from yesterday. It's damning, Dad. Absolutely damning. But we need access to the church projector, and Pastor Mitchell hasn't committed to helping. The percolator burbles its last. I pour 2 cups, slide one to Sarah. She wraps her hands around it like she's trying to absorb the heat. I'll talk to him, I say. There's something else. She won't meet my eyes. I called the State Banking Commission yesterday. Asked about Jim's role in all this. My stomach drops. And? They said Jim filed a report 3 days ago, clearing all of Claire's transactions, his signatures on the approval forms. Jim. 40 years of friendship, and he signed off on the theft. Why would he? The bank's due for a federal audit next week. Sarah shows me her notes. If the forgeries came out during the audit, Jim's liable. His whole career, his pension, gone. I sit down heavy. So he covered it up. To save himself, yeah. She closes the laptop. Dad, I don't think we can trust him. Earl knocks and enters without waiting, Tyler behind him. The kids carrying equipment, laptop, cables, some kind of portable projector. Backup plan, Tyler announces. If the pastor won't help, we bring our own equipment, battery-powered, loud enough to fill that basement. You thought of everything, I say. Not everything. Earl sets a manila envelope on the table. Rachel called this morning. Claire contacted her last night. I open the envelope. It's a letter. Claire to Rachel, dated yesterday. The deal's off. Keep the kids. Don't come to the celebration. Don't contact Harold. If you do, I'll report you for child endangerment and make sure you never see Tommy and Katie again. She's covering her tracks, Sarah says. Getting rid of witnesses. Rachel's terrified, Earl adds, but she wants to help. Wants to tell the truth about the kids. It's too dangerous for her, I say. If Claire goes after her custody, then we protect her. Sarah's voice is firm. We expose Claire completely. Rachel testifies, we back her up, and Claire goes to prison without any power to threaten anyone. The plan's coming together, but there's still pieces missing. I'm going to see Pastor Mitchell, I say. The church office smells like old hymnals and lemon polish. Pastor Mitchell's at his desk, reading glasses perched on his nose, working through Sunday's sermon. He looks up when I knock. Harold, come in. I sit across from him. Don't know where to start, so I just start. I need to use the church projector tomorrow night, during Claire's celebration. He sets down his pen. Harold, I'm not sure that's appropriate. She's been stealing from me for 18 months. I pull out the recorder, set it on his desk. She and her lawyer boyfriend planned the whole thing. The marriage, the kids, everything. The kids? They're not hers. Borrowed them from her sister, for sympathy, to make her look maternal. Pastor Mitchell removes his glasses, pinches the bridge of his nose. This is a serious accusation. It's the truth. I press play on the recorder. Claire's voice fills the office. You get to not die alone in an empty house. Cost you a farm. Fair trade. Marcus, at your age, what, 5 years? 10 if you're lucky? Pastor Mitchell's face drains of color. I stop the recording. She's using your church to celebrate stealing from me, to mock God's teachings about honesty and love. If you're wrong, then I'll stand here next Sunday and apologize to the whole congregation. I lean forward. But I'm not wrong, Pastor. And if I don't do this tomorrow, I lose everything. Monday morning, they file incompetence papers, put me in a home, take the farm my grandfather homesteaded. He's quiet for a long time. Finally, what do you need? The projector and your silence until tomorrow night. He nods slowly. The Lord works in mysterious ways, but sometimes his justice needs human hands. He stands, offers his hand. The equipment is yours, Harold. Use it well. Rachel's apartment is worse than I remember. Peeling paint, broken window covered with cardboard, cold seeping through every crack. She opens the door with Katie on her hip, Tommy peeking from behind her legs. Mr. Brenner. She looks terrified. Can we talk? Inside, the apartment's clean but bare. No food in the fridge that I can see. One space heater struggling against the cold. Sarah's with me. She sits with Rachel at the tiny kitchen table while I crouch down to Tommy's level. Hey, bud. Grandpa. He hugs me and something in my chest cracks. Are we coming back to the farm? Maybe, son. Maybe. Rachel's crying quietly. Sarah's holding her hand. She said she'd take them away, Rachel whispers. Said if I talked to anyone, she'd make sure I never saw them again. She can't do that from prison, Sarah says. Rachel looks up. Prison? Sarah explains the plan, the evidence, the celebration, the exposure. Rachel listens, hope and fear warring on her face. If I testify, Rachel says slowly, you'll protect us? All of us? Yes, I say. Not just protect Help. You need a better place than this. Better situation. I can't afford. I can. I stand, pull an envelope from my pocket. Money I withdrew this morning. First month's rent on a better apartment, security deposit, food for these kids. Rachel stares at the envelope like it might bite. Why would you do this? Because Claire used you same as she used me. Because Tommy and Katie deserve better. Because it's the right thing. She takes the envelope with shaking hands. What do you need me to do? Come tomorrow, 6:30. Bring the kids. Tell the truth about how Claire borrowed them. That's all. And you'll make sure she can't hurt us? Sarah squeezes her hand. She's going to prison, Rachel. For a long time. She won't hurt anyone again. Tommy tugs on my sleeve. Grandpa, can we still visit you? After? I pick him up. He's getting heavy, or I'm getting weak. Maybe both. Every weekend, I promise. We'll finish that cradle together. Build you a treehouse, whatever you want. Katie joins the hug. Small arms, big trust. Looking over their heads, I see Rachel's decision forming. She's scared, but she's a mother, and mothers protect their children, even when it costs them. Okay, she says. We'll be there. Friday evening. Harold's kitchen is command central. Sarah's reviewing legal precedents on her laptop. Tyler's testing the presentation on the projector. Photos cycling through, bank records highlighted, audio queued up perfect. Earl's on his phone with Sheriff Tom, making sure law enforcement will be positioned right. Jim's missing. Haven't heard from him since Wednesday. Should we try calling him again? Sarah asks. No point. I'm at the window, watching the sun set over frozen fields. He's made his choice. Maybe he'll surprise us, Earl offers, but he doesn't sound convinced. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Brenner? Woman's voice. Official. This is Adult Protective Services. We received a report about your welfare. We'd like to schedule a home visit for Monday morning. My blood goes cold. Who filed the report? I'm not at liberty to say, but the complainant expressed concerns about your cognitive function, your living situation, and possible self-neglect. Claire and Marcus. Moving faster than expected. What happens Monday? I ask. We assess your ability to live independently. If we find you incapable of self-care or vulnerable to exploitation, we can recommend guardianship proceedings. Guardianship? Someone else controlling my life, my assets, my decisions. I understand, I say. I'll be here Monday. I hang up. Everyone's staring at me. They filed the APS report, I say. Monday morning, they evaluate me. If they decide I'm incompetent, it's over. Sarah's face goes pale. Even if we expose them tomorrow? If I'm declared incompetent, anything I say becomes paranoid delusions. Evidence gathered by an incompetent person? Inadmissible. So tomorrow's it, Earl says. One shot has to be perfect. Tyler stops the presentation. It's ready. Everything's loaded, backed up 3 times, battery tested. We're good to go. Rachel's confirmed, Sarah adds. She'll be there with the kids at 6:30. Pastor gave us the equipment, I say. Sheriff's positioned, Earl confirms. We look at each other. Everything's in place, except Jim. As if summoned by thinking his name, there's a knock at the door. I open it. Jim Hutchins stands there. He looks like hell, red eyes, unshaven, suit rumpled. He's holding papers. Harry, his voice breaks. I'm sorry, I was a coward. He hands me the papers, bank documents, official withdrawal of his previous approval, dated today. I reported the irregularities to the State Banking Commission this afternoon, he says. Told them everything. My negligence, the forgeries, all of it. Jim, your career is over. I know. He wipes his eyes. Audit next week will confirm I missed the fraud. I'll be fired, probably lose my pension. Then why? Because Grace would have been ashamed of me. Helen too. He straightens up. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll testify. I'll confirm the banking fraud from a professional standpoint. Whatever you need. Sarah opens the door wider. Come in, Jim. He steps inside and the circle's complete. We spend the next 2 hours going over every detail. Who speaks when? how the evidence will be revealed, what to do if Claire and Marcus try to run. Around midnight, we're as ready as we'll ever be. Tyler leaves first, equipment loaded in his car. Earl follows. Rachel's been texted the final details. Jim lingers at the door. Harry, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. You chose right in the end, I say. That's what matters. After he leaves, it's just me and Sarah. You should sleep, Dad. Can't. You? She shakes her head. We sit at the kitchen table, Betty's old table, in the quiet. I wasted 8 years being angry, Sarah says. Angry you moved on from Mom. Angry you seemed happy. You weren't wrong to feel that way. I was wrong to leave. She looks at me. Tomorrow, when this is over, I'm staying, Dad, moving back. The teaching job in town, I already applied. And the baby. She puts her hand on her stomach. Your grandchild deserves to know their grandfather. I can't speak. Just reach across the table and hold her hand. Outside, the wind picks up. Winter's last gasp before spring. Tomorrow night, 200 people will gather in that church basement. Claire will stand at the front, expecting celebration, expecting victory. She'll get truth instead. I think about the recorder in my pocket, the evidence on Tyler's laptop, Rachel's testimony, Jim's professional confirmation, the wire I wore yesterday, capturing every cruel word. Tomorrow, I wire myself different, with courage instead of fear. Dad? Sarah's watching me. You okay? I squeeze her hand. Yeah, honey, I'm okay. But lying in bed an hour later, I'm not sure I believe it. The ceiling stares back at me. Same ceiling Betty and I painted in 1979. Same ceiling I've watched through 4 years of widowhood, 18 months of Claire's lies, 3 weeks of knowing the truth. Tomorrow I stand in front of everyone who watched me fall. Tomorrow I reclaim what's mine. Tomorrow winter ends. Or it doesn't. Sleep comes finally, thin and troubled, full of dreams about church basements and falling and standing and falling again. When I wake, it's Saturday. The day has come. Saturday, 5:30 in the evening. I'm standing in front of the bathroom mirror, shaving for the second time today. Steady hands this time. The razor scrapes clean, methodical. A man respects himself and the people he's about to face. I put on my Sunday best. The navy suit Betty helped me pick out for Sarah's high school graduation. White shirt, pressed. Tie Betty gave me for our 35th anniversary, burgundy with small gold threads. In my pocket, the recorder, backup, just in case. On my right hand, Betty's wedding ring, the one I moved there when I married Claire. On my left hand, Claire's ring, for the last time. Sarah's waiting downstairs. She's dressed simple, dark blouse, slacks, professional, strong. Ready, Dad? As I'll ever be. The drive to church is quiet. Sun setting, that particular winter light that makes everything look both beautiful and cold. The church steeple rises white against purple sky. Cars are already filling the parking lot. More than I expected. Word spreads fast in small towns. People want to see how this plays out. There's a lot of people, Sarah says. Good. More witnesses. We park. I sit for a moment, engine ticking as it cools. Mom would be proud of you, Sarah says. Standing up like this. Your mother would have never let it get this far. She'd have seen through Claire in 5 minutes. Maybe, but you're here now. That's what matters. We get out. Cold air hits my face, clears my head. Earl's truck is here. Tyler's car, Jim's sedan, Rachel's old Honda pulled up near the side door, kids' car seats visible in back. Inside, the fellowship hall is decorated like a wedding. White flowers, fairy lights strung along the walls, tablecloths in cream and gold. Claire's spared no expense, my expense. She's at the front holding court, new dress, hair done perfect, smiling like a queen. Sees me enter and her smile gets wider, predatory. Marcus is beside her in an expensive suit, champagne glass in hand. He lifts it in mock salute when he sees me. The room's filling up, maybe 200 people. Pastor Mitchell near the back, face troubled but resolved. Rosie from the diner, Eddie from the feed store, people I've known my whole life, all of them watching, waiting. Claire walks to the microphone at the front, taps it twice. Can everyone find a seat? We're about to begin. The room settles. I'm in the middle row, Sarah beside me. Earl's on my other side, solid as granite. Jim's in the front row, visible, hands clasped, nervous. Tyler's at the very back with the laptop, projector already set up on a table, aimed at the white screen someone hung on the wall. Claire begins. Thank you all for coming to celebrate this special evening. Her voice is honey, practiced. Harold and I have been through some challenges lately. She looks at me, eyes glittering. But love conquers all, doesn't it, honey? The room's silent. Waiting for me to respond, I stand instead. Claire's smile freezes. Harold, what are you doing? I walk toward the front, each step deliberate. My shoes on the tile floor, the same floor where mashed potatoes fell 3 weeks ago. Harold, she tries again. I take the microphone from her hand, gentle but firm. The room's dead quiet now. Most of you were here 3 weeks ago, I start. My voice is steady, calm. Church potluck. You heard my wife call me a fool. Say those kids aren't mine. Say she married me for my farm. Heads nod. They remember. I stood there, I point to the spot, serving spoon in my hand, and felt shame like I never knew. Shame to be old, shame to be trusting, shame to love and be made a fool. Claire tries to grab the mic. This is inappropriate. I step back, keep talking. But shame belongs to the person who does wrong, not the person wronged. Marcus stands. The man's clearly unwell. So before we celebrate renewed love, I continue, you should know what you're blessing. I nod to Tyler. The lights dim. The projector flickers on. The screen fills with a title. The Truth About Harold and Claire Brenner. Claire's face drains white. First slide, the timeline, month by month, the courtship, the marriage, then the systematic theft. I narrate. Oh, each medical appointment was a trap. I signed what I thought were health forms. Next slide, signatures side by side. Mine and the forgeries. Jim stands. I'm James Hutchins, bank manager for 40 years. Those signatures are forged. I verified the discrepancies myself. Gasps ripple through the crowd. More slides, photos of Claire and Marcus. Hotel parking lots, 2 a.m. meetings, kissing in his car. Claire lunges for the laptop. This is invasion of privacy. Illegal. Earl blocks her path. Keep watching, ma'am. Text messages now. The planning, the targeting, the cold calculation. Found one. 4th-generation farm, no mortgage. Old men are easy. Just listen to their stories. 3 months max to hook him. People are murmuring now. Angry sounds. The slide about the children appears. Borrow kids from Rachel. Adds legitimacy. After farm sells, kids go back. She gets $20K, we split $800K. The back door opens. Rachel enters with Tommy and Katie. Every head turns. Rachel's shaking, but her voice carries. I'm Rachel Vance, Claire's sister. These are my children. Katie sees me, pulls free, runs. Grandpa! I catch her, hold her. Small weight, real love. Rachel continues. Claire paid me to let them live here. Said it was temporary. I was desperate, struggling. I'm ashamed. But these children deserve the truth. Tommy's at my side now. Mommy Claire said we're going away after she gets money. The room erupts. Angry voices, shock, disgust. Claire's backing toward the side door. This is a setup, all lies. Then let's hear the truth, I say. I pull out the recorder, press play. Claire's voice fills the room through the speakers. Harold, you're 68. How much retirement do you need? Marcus on the recording. At your age, what, 5 years? 10 if you're lucky? Claire again. You get to not die alone in an empty house. Cost you a farm. Fair trade. Marcus. Sign the damn papers, old man, or we file incompetence and you end up in a home. The recording plays it all. Every cruel word, every threat, every confession. Claire's trying to leave. Earl and 3 other men block the exits. She spins on me, mask shattered completely. You old fool, you were dying alone. Her voice is shrill now, desperate. I gave you company, a family. You should be grateful. Your precious Betty's been dead 4 years. She's not coming back. The room recoils. I deserve that far more than you. She's screaming now. I earned it dealing with your pathetic loneliness, your boring stories, your old man smell. Marcus grabs her arm. Claire, shut up. She shakes him off. Why? Look at him. 68, wheezing, halfway to the grave. This was a mercy, taking his assets before he wasted them dying slowly. She points at me, hand shaking with rage. You're nothing. You'll die alone anyway, forgotten, worthless. Ma'am, Sheriff Tom's voice cuts through. He's standing now, uniform visible. I think that's enough. Marcus bolts for the side exit. Deputy's there, blocking. Sir, please stay. Marcus tries to push past. The deputy restrains him. You can't hold me. I'm a lawyer. You're a conspirator, Sheriff Tom says, walking forward. Sit down. Marcus panics. This is entrapment. Illegal recording. Jim stands again. One-party consent state. Harold can record his own conversations. It's legal. Marcus turns on Claire. You said he was too stupid to figure it out. Shut up, Marcus. But he's spiraling. You said it was foolproof. I said shut up. Their alliance crumbling, turning on each other like rats. Sheriff Tom pulls out handcuffs. Claire Brenner, Marcus Webb, you're under arrest for fraud, forgery, conspiracy to commit elder abuse, and financial exploitation. Claire's screaming. This is wrong. He's senile. Check his medical records. Dr. Chen will tell you. She's fighting the handcuffs. He humiliated me. I'm just evening the score. Marcus has gone quiet, lawyer brain finally kicking in too late. The sheriff reads them their rights. Miranda warning in that flat official tone. Claire's still screaming as they lead her out. You'll die alone, old man. No one will ever love you. You're too broken, too trusting, too pathetic. I watch her go. Maybe. But I'll die honest. You'll die in a cage, knowing you threw away a good life for greed. She tries to lunge at me. The deputy holds her back. Then she's gone. Both of them. Out the door, into the police car, red and blue lights painting the fellowship hall walls. The room's silent for a long moment. Then Pastor Mitchell speaks. Lord have mercy. He walks to me. Harold, I'm so sorry. We should have seen it. Should have helped sooner. Rosie's crying. Harry, anything you need? Eddie. I feel like a damn fool for not believing you. Others approaching now, apologizing, offering support, shame at not seeing, at not helping. It's all right, I tell them. Predators are good at hiding. That's why they're dangerous. Sarah's beside me, hand on my shoulder. Dad, you did it. Earl's there too. Grace would be proud, Harry. I'm proud. I look around the room. The decorations are still up, flowers for a celebration that became a reckoning, champagne glasses full and abandoned, food untouched, 200 witnesses. Same as the humiliation, but different. Rachel's holding Tommy and Katie, all three crying. I go to them. You're safe now, I tell Rachel. She can't hurt you anymore. Can we still visit Grandpa? Katie asks, small voice. I kneel down, both kids in my arms. Every weekend. That's a promise. The fellowship hall empties slowly. People lingering, talking in low voices, processing what they witnessed. Jim comes up last. Harry, I don't know how to... You stood with me when it mattered. That's enough. He nods, shakes my hand, leaves. Finally, it's just me and Sarah and Earl in the decorated hall. What now? Sarah asks. I look at the screen, still showing the evidence. At the flowers, the lights, the celebration that never was. Now? I take off Claire's ring, set it on the table. Now we go home. Sunday morning, the district attorney calls. Claire and Marcus are being held without bail. Flight risk, evidence overwhelming. They'll plead out or face 10 to 15 years each, she tells me. This is airtight, Mr. Brenner. The farm deed's already being restored. Forgeries voided. Stolen money traced and frozen. Most of it I'll get back. You did good, the DA says. This case will help us protect other victims. I hang up and sit on the porch. March sun's weak but warming. Ice on the field starting to crack and melt. Jim calls next. Bank suspended him pending investigation, but the state commission's recognizing his cooperation. Demotion, not termination. Probation. I can live with that, he says. Can't live with the alternative. You chose right, Jim. Eventually. Grace would have kicked my ass. Helen, too. We both laugh. Widowers sharing the weight of absent wives' judgment. Monday, I visit Rachel's new apartment. Better neighborhood, heat that works, refrigerator full of food I bought. Tommy and Katie are drawing pictures at the kitchen table. The farm, the workshop, a cradle. Next weekend, I promise, we'll start that treehouse. Rachel walks me to the door. Why are you doing this? After what I was part of? Claire used you same as she used me, and these kids love me for real. That's worth protecting. She's crying when I leave, but they're different tears. Relief, maybe. Hope. By late March, Sarah's moved into the guest house. Boxes everywhere. Her old bedroom furniture mixed with new. She's got the teaching job at County High School, starts in August. We're in the workshop together, finishing the cradle. I teach her to check for square, test the joints, sand with the grain. I forgot how peaceful this is, she says. You and your tools. Making something good helps when bad's been done to you. She runs her hand over the tiger maple. For my baby, your grandchild. Fourth generation to use this cradle. Maybe their baby someday too. Legacy, not just land, but love carried forward. The legal resolution comes in April. Claire takes a plea, 8 years, full restitution. Marcus gets 6, disbarred, restitution. Both registered as financial predators. Can't work with vulnerable adults again. So they can't do this to someone else? I asked the DA. Not easily. You've protected future victims, Harold. That matters more than the money, more than the farm even. The purpose. Standing up so the next lonely old man knows it's possible. May brings the first real warmth. Sarah's garden plot is cleared, planted. Betty's old markers back in place. Tomatoes, beans, her favorite flowers. Earl and I sit on the porch watching green shoots push through dark soil. Spring always comes, Earl says, even after the worst winters. Yeah, it does. Tommy and Katie visit every Saturday. We're building that treehouse, slow and careful, teaching them to measure twice, cut once, to make things that last. The cradle sits finished in Sarah's guest house nursery, waiting for October when the baby comes. I run my hand over the wood sometimes. Smooth, solid, built to last generations. Like the farm, like the family. Not undamaged. There's reinforcement where the runner cracked, stronger for the repair. Like me, Sunday service, the congregation stands and applauds when I walk in. Embarrassing, but genuine. After over coffee, Pastor Mitchell says, "You taught us something, Harold, about standing up, about fighting for what's right." I just stood, I say. That's all. Sometimes that's everything. I look around the fellowship hall. Same room where I was humiliated. Same room where truth won. Different now. Reclaimed. Sarah's beside me, hand on her growing belly. Earl's talking with Jim. Rachel's here with the kids, accepted by the congregation, community. Real this time, tested and true. Outside, spring light filters through stained glass. The winter's over, inside and out. I'm 68. I got fooled. I fought back. I'm still here, and that's enough. Early May morning, I'm in the workshop before dawn. The cradle sits beside me, finished weeks ago, but I keep coming back to it, running my hand over the tiger maple, feeling the grain smooth under my fingers. Some things you fix, some you rebuild, some you start over. This cradle got rebuilt after Claire's damage. Stronger for the reinforcement, the new dowels holding where the old wood cracked. Like me, I suppose, I think about winter, how February's cold felt permanent when I was in it, how loneliness made me vulnerable, how grief made me desperate for something, anything, to fill the empty spaces Betty left. But winter always ends, always has, always will. Spring didn't erase the damage, just grew around it, through it. My life's the same. Claire's betrayal is a permanent scar, but not a permanent wound anymore. Being a fool for love ain't the worst thing a man can be. Worse to be so guarded that nothing gets in. Not love, not light, not life. Betty taught me trust is risk. Claire taught me predators exist. Both lessons true. I can hold both without contradiction. I'd rather be fooled once than suspicious forever. People ask me about dignity, whether it was worth fighting for when I'd already been defeated. Here's what I learned. Dignity ain't about never falling. It's about who helps you up and whether you're still willing to love afterward. My dignity came back not because I exposed Claire, but because I chose truth over bitterness, connection over isolation, love for Sarah, for those kids, for Earl and Jim, over fear. They said I was too old, too trusting, too finished. Maybe I am old. Maybe trust comes easier at 68 because you've seen enough to know what matters. And finished. A man's only finished when he stops showing up. I'm still showing up. Workshop. Farm. Sarah's life, swelling with new generation. Tommy and Katie's Saturdays. Earl's porch, visible across the field. Through the workshop window, the sky's turning that particular spring blue. Clouds moving, weather changing, always changing. I pick up the cradle, carry it to Sarah's guest house. She's awake, hand on her belly, feeling the baby move. It's ready, I say. She takes it, places it in the nursery corner, waiting, ready, hopeful. I look at my hands, old, scarred, spotted with age. But they built this. These hands are capable still. Some things you lose, some things get taken. But love, craft, dignity, those you keep by giving them away. Walking back to the farmhouse, I see Earl wave from his porch. Coffee's probably on. Our morning ritual. The spring air smells like wet earth and possibility. Birds are back, tentative songs after long silence. I'm 68. I got fooled. I fought back. I'm still here. Not a happy ending, just an honest one. Winter's over. Spring's here. Tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow when it comes. I settle on my porch, coffee cup warm in my hands. Earl's rocker creaks across the field, steady as a heartbeat. The quiet's not empty anymore. It's just quiet. And that's enough. Some days, it's more than enough.